Absolute Sword Sense. By Hanjun Liulia. Chapter 131. Three Great Bands. Part 1. Clack. Clack. Midnight. The carriage was speeding fast as a woman was laid in the carriage with her beautiful red hair spread wide like a peacock's feathers. She was Baek Hai-hyang, the candidate to become the leader of the blood sect. There was someone looking down at her. It was Jang Ryong. It was when they had moved long enough. Baek Hai-hyang, who hadn't woken up for a long time, opened up her eyes. "My lady. You are awake." The red eyes came to life little by little as words emerged from her mouth. "I lost?" As soon as she woke up, this was the first question she asked, and at this Jang Ryong smiled, nodding his head and comforting her. "The fault lies with the opponent." The opponent, being one of the 12 great warriors and the one ranked even within the top 5. No matter how gifted she was, the gap between them was too long. "Do we know who he is?" To her question, Jang Ryong replied. "Sima Chuk, one of 4 great evils." Jang Ryong was worried about the woman, who hated losing more than dying. He did not want her to feel horrible. "And why did he attack us?" To her question, he answered. "I think he was looking for someone, but he misunderstood that the person was with us. So?" Proving that, he withdrew. At Jang Ryong's words, she frowned with a face full of displeasure. "You mean he just gave up on the fight?" The man had arrived by killing 30 first-rate warriors without a single wound. It was natural for her to react like this, so Jang Ryong cautiously added. "Do not be too down. The 4 great evils are monsters known as chaos within Murim. Their actions are unpredictable by even the standards of the worst criminals. That is why they do not belong to any sect." "Strong?" He is strong." As Baek Hai-hyang acknowledged the opponent, Jang Ryong was shocked. "He is strong and I am weak. What was the result of fight?" Even if she lost, she was never the one to admit it and run ahead for another fight, but she calmly accepted her defeat. "Fucking strong. They aren't called great warriors for nothing. Will the First Elder be able to deal with them?" The First Elder was currently the best within the blood sect, and among them, he was the only one with a skill to become closest to the great warriors. He was now in closed training, but with his emergence, he might be on the same level as them. "Come to think of it, the Elder has been helping me quite a lot." Jang Ryong didn't deny her words. The man was a servant to the blood sect and the Lord. It was even more strange for Baek Hai-hyang to take down Sima Chuk when she couldn't even take him down. "There are 12 officially." "No, it is 13 with the First Elder." "Are you referring to them as someone who is stronger than you?" It seemed like that, considering the manner in which she spoke. Actually, it was hard to argue. It was clear that Baek Hai-hyang had no opponent in her age group, as she was a lot stronger than them. There was no doubt that she was strong and belonged to the list of names describing the strong people in Murim. However, the Central Plains were wide with countless warriors. Someone stronger than her could continue to appear suddenly, so it was meaningless to rank people based on their strength. That wasn't the monster with the golden eye like that? The one who suddenly appeared during the Great War and intervened between the 12 blood stars and killed the First Elder from that era. She tried to find his trace for over 20 years, but she couldn't, as no one had any idea about him. The instant she thought about it. "I need to head back home." Why?" "I realized something when I fought him." "Realized something?" Jang Ryong was shocked at her words. He knew that she was growing, but at this point it felt too much. Gaining something from a defeat? "But my lady, I shall come out within a night, no a month. Will that much be enough?" But he had to accept the truth. "Then does the lady have any ideas?" Despite his asking, there was no answer. If only the Murim Alliance had kidnapped Wenhui, they at least would know the location to search, but here, there was too much searching and no result. Du Jangho decided to speak. "Nothing else. Are you giving up too?" "It isn't giving up. But I cannot deny the possibility of our forces getting into danger with this search. Then what? We have to deal with it accordingly. Accordingly? Lady Beck Hyahyang must be convinced that we are in possession of the sword. So, the identity of the master of the sword isn't known. Of course, she would think of it to be the lady. With that, Du Jangho looked at Beck Ryan-ha and he talked about the answer he could think of. I think it would be good to take advantage of this. So you want to hide the existence of Blood Demon? If she knows that our Blood Demon is missing, then she will surely move. Right, no one would deny this. We hide the information about Blood Demon until we get a sniff of their whereabouts. For the time being, we need to continue and head back to the sect, act like everything is centered around the lady. That will be our priority, to get Third Elder and Second Blood Star on our side. No one disagreed with it. Du Jangho looked at Seo Kalma and Han Bakha. Actually, they too thought of this, but they couldn't say it out with He Ak-hun angry and panicking as he liked So Won-hui. Everyone looked at He Ak-chun and now he was the only one left to speak. He looked quite troubled as he thought and said in a disapproving voice. Until we find Blood Demon only. He Ak-chun looked up and mumbled. Brat. Stay alive. If you die, I will never forgive you. Swish. It was the first time ever since I was born that I had seen such a place. The valley water descends from the waterfall through a large hole of about 10 square meters. The scene unfolding under the swinging bridge. The water being sucked into a hole of an unknown depth could not be measured. Where is this place? I can only think of Shangxi. Shangxi? I was speechless at the words of Iron Sword. On the way, he gave us some rice balls or raisins and then would even let me pee. That too was just once a day. Every time I wanted to run, I wouldn't move due to the long needle-like things he placed in my legs, arms and spine too. Shit. It has been like this for 15 days. Even now, except for twisting the neck a little, I couldn't move the body, and Sima Young had a pity face as she looked at me. Sima Young tried to get the long needles out of your body several times, but her attempts all failed as that man woke up like some sort of ghost. Short Sword chuckled with her words. I could feel Sima Chek staring at me. All the way here, despite the food and stuff, he never once spoke to me. But it felt like it would be possible now. At least I wasn't all eating and pooping. Sov Sr., may I ask why you brought me here? Sima Chek, who didn't seem to like me much, answered. Actually, I was planning on killing you. I knew that. Why bring me here and not kill me? But what is so good about you being treated like this by her? Sima Young couldn't even look at her father at this as she uttered. After the death of my wife, all I had was that child. Do you realize how precious she is? I couldn't answer because I was scared I would say something stupid. And when I was quiet, he added. I, Sima Chek, have lived my life free from rules, but I am not an ignorant fool. I saw you risk your life to save my daughter. The time when she fell into the river. Sima Chek spoke in a calm voice. That is why I am going to give you the chance to bond with her. You will accept it, right? Chapter 132. Three Great Bands. Part 2. Chance? The word chance emerging from the mouth of Sima Chek only heightened my anxiousness. At least, if I weren't for a place like this, chance would have been tempting. I looked at Sima Young in doubt. She didn't seem to have a good expression either. It would be nice if she could at least guide me or help me out through this, but seeing that she couldn't even speak, it seemed like Sima Chek did something. You won't be able to hear her with the blood points being sealed. It was as expected, and he asked. Did you guys hear anything? No. How could we listen to what they are saying when we are stuck with you? Talking to a person? These were swords and only I could talk to them. Even in the midst of losing my mind, I couldn't hear anything either. Is this a test of some sort? Test? Sima Chek said he would give me a chance, and this didn't meet a chance of life either, so there had to be a hidden intention. That was the only thing that mattered. The mind felt complicated, but Sima Chek had a faint smile. I will give you 2 chances. You are free to choose either or neither of them. What do you mean free to choose? I mean it literally. I am giving you the chance and choices, and you can pick either one of them or you can just give it up. Giving up was also alright? I was puzzled, then he continued. If that happens, you will never see my daughter again. You will have to swear on your life. Ah. So there was a price. If I give up, I would not be able to see her again. Now I understood why Sima Young always had a troubled expression. Sima Chuk was testing me now, and if I gave up, it would show that I cared more about myself than my feelings for Sima Young. Will you take the chance or give up? Didn't this seem like a test well prepared? Sima Chuk was indeed a formidable man. Will it be fine? I don't think you will ever have a smooth relationship with his daughter either way. I guess so. But if I hesitate, even a little, it would proceed in Sima Chuk's manner. In that case, it would be better if I could move my body, but I couldn't. Why will I give up? I shall accept it. At my words, Sima Chuk's smile disappeared and he seemed upset. On the other hand, Sima Young's lips were twitching up as if she was happy that I wasn't giving up on her. So, did I pass the first hurdle? At least, it seemed like Sima Young was pleased with this. So she reacted like this. But the problem was Kwawakwanag. The entrance to hell, the hole within which the waterfall was rushing, sucked in from all sides. Just looking at it gave me chills. Even death seemed absent from this location. You got guts, I will give you that. With those words, Sima Chuk held out his hand behind his back. Then the blood demon sword that was on my waist flew out. The sword emerging from its sheath was sucked into the hand of Sima Chuk, and I exclaimed. You must never hold this sword. But Sima Chuk was already holding onto it. Blood demon sword was bound to make it a mess. How dare you place your hands on my body? I will burst down your veins, What? Blood demon sword seemed to be messing around, but Sima Chuk seemed fine. I couldn't see anything wrong. He seemed normal holding this sword, and it was the blood demon sword who was reacting oddly. Quack. Hearing his groan and the trembling, I looked at Sima Chuk, who added. Spirit sword. Are you alright? Did you think something like a spirit sword would hurt me? Quack. This human. Ack. The more Sima Chuk was releasing his chi, the more blood demon sword was suffering. It was like meeting the proper nemesis. Oh my. So cool. Short sword on the other hand loved this. She was delighted that the sword she hated could be handled. It truly was great, even Han Bekha couldn't withstand this. I knew the man was on a whole different level, but this was beyond my imagination. Sima Chuk was casually swinging the sword at the water under the bridge. Clash! And with a sharp slicing sound, space began to tremble and the valley water, which was violently falling down, split open in an instant. Such an amazing sight. It meant that he was swinging it with this intention. He wasn't called a great warrior for nothing. Blood demon sword shuddered with the body trembling as Sima Chuk continued. TCH. It isn't a good sword if it has such a strong sense of itself. Relying on the power of such swords will not help in growth either. Clack. He let go of the sword. He could control it, but the longer he did, the more chi he would have to consume. Shit. That damned human. Blood demon sword's angry voice was echoing in my head. He seemed angry. And just then, Sima Chuk approached me and poked near my chest. You have a peculiar way of cultivation. To think that a guy who cannot even cross the wall trained like this by depending on this part alone. I was shocked at the words he said. Could it be that he touched my chest and felt the innate chi stored in the middle dantian? As I looked dumbstruck, Sima Chuk asked. Did you think I wouldn't know? You can feel it? You trained so much innate chi, how would I not know? This was clear. Sima Chuk could feel the innate chi. If one reaches that level, could one notice innate chi too? Sima Chuk snorted and added. A guy who cannot properly handle the pure chi is accumulating another counter of it like this. What do you mean? In such an unbalanced state, you will never be able to overcome your current limits, let alone the wall you are facing. I was puzzled, but then Simachuk suddenly caught me by my nape. Senior? He grabbed the nape at the neck and lifted me up so our faces would meet each other and began to move me. The waterfall below looked like an abyss, and my heart skipped a beat as this began to sink in. Do you know what this place is? I don't know. Yeah. Will you do it? So, nothing could be done. At least being together with you two would be comforting. I ran ahead. Wait. No. Do not do this, young lord. At her cries, I endured myself and began to move. Quack quack quack. The water from these waterfalls was rushing in from all sides, and the front was covered with mist. At that time, I heard Ironsword say, "Wonhui, look up." As I fell, I forcibly turned my body. Sima Young jumped in after me. She is insane. Is she jumping in together? Miss Sima. But my cry was drowned by the noise of the waterfall. However, there was someone's shadow which moved faster than me. Simachuk. He followed and pulled her back with ridiculous footwork technique. He took her back as she struggled to come down, but it didn't work now. Thank God. Luckily, she was caught and Sima Young threw me something. Swish. Blood demon sword. As it was infused with chi, it arrived right for me. Her real purpose must have been to give me the sword. It could have been dangerous for her to hold the sword, but she still did it. She knew it and yet endured it. She thought that blood demon sword would take care of me. And I could see Simachuk shaking his head. But even that was short-lived. The figure turned to dots and my body soon sunk into the dark hole. Whoa! It was a darkness where one couldn't see even the water splashing ahead. It truly felt like an abyss. Making sure the body was turned as vertical as possible. When the waterfall moved, it was clear that the water began flowing or turned stagnant. Even if I descended with internal chi being used, the impact would be large, so being hit with nothing would seriously injure the body. I see the bottom. I gritted my teeth and withstood the shock. And soon my feet finally touched the water. Plop. As my body moved in with feet first, the shock felt strong from the toes and moved upwards. Fortunately, thanks to the experience of falling into the valley in the past, I was able to prepare myself mentally and physically. Thus, the body didn't feel like it would break. In the first place, it was constantly training my body. Pwah. I went under and struggled to come up to the surface. The body started leaning somewhere by itself due to the flowing current of the waterfall. You know that you shouldn't let us go. Hold tight. Wonhui. You are the first one to place the blood demon sword through such tough times. We lived well, so this could be called a good experience. Would anyone even come to this place on their own feet? Well, it didn't look too far ahead. I continued to lean ahead and move down, but I wasn't sure where we were heading. I couldn't see anything ahead. We can see. Wonhui, if you go further, and there would be no place for your head to even stick out. Ironsword replied. What do you mean? The water is entering into a gap. Damn it. Was I drifting to some death? Even if there was this deep passage and we did enter, I might die from suffocation. Swim to the right. There is land near the right side. He couldn't see at all, but Short Sword was directing me, so I chose to swing. My body moved a little to the side as I moved. Not far. Hurry. I know. But swimming away from the current was hard. Almost there. Reach out and grab it. I stretched my hand ahead with the fuss they were making. Then I caught something like a stone. After throwing Blood Demon Sword to the left hand ahead, I grabbed onto the stone I could catch. And pulled myself with all the might. The upper body, which was washed away by the current, began to move, and soon I pushed forward with my legs. As the swords informed me, there was land ahead. Hook, hook. I thought we would die being buried here. I know. Shit. At that time I should have just stuck to that girl Beck Ryanha as my subordinate instead of this one. What was that? Regret? Well, this was all too hard. Who would have thought that we would be thrown with my chi being sealed up? Was there any way to get them to use? I was lying down when I heard a hum. What is that? I immediately held Blood Demon sword and stood up. Even though my eyes were accustomed to the darkness, I could barely see anything. Hear that? I do. It seems to be coming from the cave over there. Cave? There were caves here? But then as we moved a faint light began to appear. A yellow light. And it was indeed a cave-like structure which appeared to have 3 men with beards and shaggy hair. There are people here? It was really unexpected. At that time the 3 men spotted to me and shouted. Newcomer. Clothes. Weapon. This didn't seem like a happy situation as the 3 began to approach me with greedy eyes. In their hands, there were axes made of stones and spears. I think I came to know why Simachuk threw me in with short sword and iron sword. To try and survive this. Phew. But there was something Simachuk didn't know. It wasn't all just mid and lower dantian for me. I regulated my breathing and touched the upper part of the chest. At that moment one of the 7 points of the Big Dipper, on the back of my hand, turned red. Chapter 133. 3 Great Bands. Part 3. Fortunately, the will was restored. Unlike the innate chi and internal chi that required time for cultivation, will would be replenished by the body depending on the physical condition. Raising the heavenly's authority, I questioned the 3 men. Who are you all? But at my question they all looked at each other and burst into laughter. Pwahahaha. Such a funny one. Who are we? What does one do after being caught in the place? Ha ha ha. Caught? What they said made me frown. Did they think of me as a prisoner? You aren't much different. You were pushed in by force. Phew. Right. Come to think of it, the situation was indeed similar to being caught. One of the shabby men pointed his axe at me and uttered, "Hey, newbie. If you want to save your life, put down the sword and take off your clothes." Completely lost it. Short Sword clicked her tongue but something felt strange. What? Did my appearance change or not? Why? I looked at the back of my hand and with one look it seemed red. I am sure that this was because of Blood Demon sword, but the appearance didn't even change. Somehow, I thought it was strange that they didn't display any reaction. So even that is not working? This was bad. Now I was not sure if the entire body was faltering because of the many blood points being sealed. At my words, the voice of Blood Demon sword justified. If you don't have chi then how would you use my skill? No. Right, you smart boy. What can a body deprived of chi achieve, human? At the words of Blood Demon sword my mouth went dry. Regardless of my appearance nothing would change when fighting. Look at this one. He isn't even answering. We can just take it off. That fancy sword is mine. Suddenly they rushed to me and wielded their stone axe while stabbing the stone spears as if they were swinging. They seemed like people adept in martial arts. Just looking at the speed of the swing, it did not seem different from demonstrating a technique without internal chi. TCH. There was not much I could do over here. Even heavenly authority wasn't working, so how should the fight happen? I hit the stone spear which reached out, with my sword. Chuck. At that moment, the stone spear split cleanly followed the sword's path. What? The shabby man who stabbed the spear at me was shocked. I threw myself at him and kicked him in the chest. Quack. Quack. When I hit his chest, he coughed up blood and moved back 3 more steps. Seeing the scene, the 2 men were frightened and stopped attacking. You? Was the internal chi not sealed? What? Were you able to use heavenly authority? I couldn't understand it, either. Since there was no change in appearance, it was considered that no form of chi could be used to enhance my body. But looking at the hit just now, it was clear that he suffered from internal wounds. Should I try it? I jumped for the other two who looked shocked. I moved lightly and reached one of them right away. Considering this, it could be said that the movement of the body was close to a first-rate warrior. Papak. Ack. At once, I bent his arms to subdue him, and when I hit on the demon blood point, his body stiffened. Damn it. He is running. When the person next to him tried to run, I caught him and struck him on the back of the neck, knocking him out. I lightly caught him as he was about to drop the light. Haha, I think I might live. My clothes were all wet and damp, so the stick of flame warmed me up. Even after defeating them all, I couldn't figure my situation. Obviously, I did manage to use the heavenly authority. Why? When the will of the blood demon was brought out, the body and the attacks always felt enhanced to an extreme level. But this was now limited only to the first-rate warrior level. Even the change in my appearance didn't happen. It was difficult to even guess what this was, but then Iron Sword added. Then maybe it is something like this. Wanhui. Didn't you suffer a burnout from exerting too much more than what you could handle the last time? Yes. Then, maybe the heavenly authority you are handling now could be something that your current level can handle. Handled at my current level? Maybe this makes little sense. Now I had my internal chi and innate chi pathways sealed. In such a state, it would be impossible to even cultivate. Is that why? But nothing was definite, as everything was plain speculation. I hurriedly withdrew the authority. Right now, this was the only means to protect my body, so I could not go ahead using it so lavishly. I had to save as much as possible. I don't think that is the only problem here, human. The torch will not last long. As they said, the speed at which this torch was burning seemed like it would vanish soon. If that happened, I would be left sightless. I shook one of the men awake. Get up. When the shabby man woke up, he looked flustered with his words. Why you? What are you? How can you use your chi? I was sure that what I used was no internal chi, but I was under no obligation to answer it. You don't need to know that. Why are you imprisoned here? He didn't answer my question, so I threatened him. You want to die? The man was now in the mood to answer. Phew, wicked moon sword had me imprisoned here. What? Simachak? I thought it was strange that he seemed familiar with this. Right. I asked, pointing to the two fallen people. And the rest? That friend arrived a month later than me, but I heard he was caught by Wicked Moonsword. But not him. He pointed to the man who suffered injuries to the chest at the first hit. I heard that he was thrown here after being imprisoned by someone from the Wind Shadow. Wind Shadow? It was one of the four heads of the dual martial forces. The man said as I looked at him cautiously. Most of the people here are those who were dropped from the dual martial forces. Those caught by the hands of Wicked Moonsword, like that guy and me, fall once in a while. Wait, so there are others than me? The man nodded. Now this was shocking. I never thought there would be survivors here, within one of the three bands. Just how many people existed in this prison? Maybe fish could be caught later, he was my priority. Go ahead. At that moment, I heard the sound of water flooding from behind and cold water dripping down. Chuck. Iron Sword yelled. Wanhui. Use heavenly authority. The monster is right behind you. Monster? I slowly turned my head and there was the sound of water dripping with four purple shining eyes appearing at the top of the cavity. All too familiar glare. Damn it. Human face purple-eyed snake. I knew it. The bone fragments and the man being reluctant to move was due to this? This is insane. No. Does it make sense for a monster which was hard to see in a man's lifetime to attack me twice? As I concentrated and used the authority, a red light shone on the back of my hand as I took out the blood demon sword. Wanhui. It is much bigger than the one we saw before. I could tell from the size of its eyes. The eyes were more purple than the past one. Within an instant I began to think. Wouldn't it be better for me to fly right under it? Or do I have to fight with it till the end? If I didn't fight with the determination to win, I might die. The stone floor here was not smooth, thus there was no possibility of one slipping. Then the conclusion had been drawn. I managed to kill it once before, so why couldn't I kill it again? I gripped the sword tightly. However, something unexpected happened in front of my eyes. SRRR. The purple eyes, which I thought would come to eat me any moment, were gradually descending. As if it was bowing its head toward me. What is this now? This side. He. The man with a limp was guiding someone with a cunning laugh. 2 men followed him from behind. In their hands, they held proper swords and blades, not the ones made of stone. Even if the clothes were worn out, they looked fine compared to this shabby man. Is what you are saying true? One of the men with blades asked. And the limping man replied, of course. That monstrous snake just had its meal, so it would not appear for a while, right? At his words the man with the sword smiled. It has been a while since I ate fish. Let's go. Say it. It has been months since I ate a fish because of that monster. The man with the limp told them. Payang, you said it before. 3 bundles of roots that you promised. Do you think that Payang will break its promise? Okay. He. Eventually, they arrived close to the cave, in front of the hole. The man with the sword told the limping one. You go in first. Go in first. That. Didn't you say it? It will be fine since he got eaten first. Go. We will give you the torch, there isn't a need to be afraid. At those words, the limping one cursed them. There was a snake inside which hated light, so they would run away after throwing the torch to see it, but it was dangerous now. After shedding once every 3 months, the amount of resistance the snake must have built was scary. You didn't lie to us, right? As if. Eventually he took the lead and crawled in. When the man went into the cave and shined the torch, he couldn't see anything odd. The man touched his chest. Everything is fine. Hearing his words, the other 2 entered from outside. They came in cheering and excited. Despite being in water, this place rarely had fish to eat. Hurry up and catch it. He. How many fishes will we get? They hurried to the pond and the limping person followed them with a bright face. Tack. But suddenly, they heard something from behind, making them all turn their heads. Someone was standing there with arms crossed. The limping guy was shocked. You? How? It was so Wenhui. They thought that he was devoured by the snake, but he seemed alive. The man with the sword felt it was ridiculous. He is alive. This bastard must be lying to us. And no. I saw the monster appear. It was then. Chalk. The water in the pond gushed up, displaying something huge. The monster with 4 huge eyes and sharp fangs. Ike. The 3 of them were terrified at the monster's appearance when it just opened its mouth and gulped one of the swordsmen in one bite. All within an instant. Quack. Crush. Crush. You. A terrible sound could be heard and they rushed for So Wenhui to survive. And to that, he aimed the sword at the 2 and blocked them. The man with the blade shouted. What are you doing? Do you want to die here? The limping one begged too. That wasn't on purpose. Please move and I will pay my debt off. We will die here. Wenhui smiled at them. Why should I move? You bastard. The man with the blade swung it at Wenhui and as expected it was a technique, but due to no internal chi, nothing changed. But Wenhui had an upper hand. Chuck. With his sword he easily cut down the blade and as the blade bounced away from hand, the man couldn't hide his shock. I internal chi? SSSSHH. And then arrived the crawling sound from behind, making them turn their heads at the same time. The snake had blood dripping down its mouth. As it looked at the men, the limp man looked puzzled. "Why?" To which one we replied. This guy did a good job following what I said. Oddly enough. "Yeah, bow." And as soon as he said it, the human-faced purple-eyed snake bowed and the eyes of the two men widened up. It was because this monster was following So Wonhui's orders. It really is. The limping man knelt down for So Wonhui. Look. Save me. I will teach you everything I know, so spare me." So Wonhui replied in a cold voice. "There is one more here besides you." At those words the limping man turned pale. He was about to plead, but Wonhui didn't wait. "Eat him." And within an instant the vision of the man was covered in darkness. Crush. Chapter 134. 3 Great Bands. Part 4. It is interesting. Why does it follow your orders? I had no idea. Human-faced purple-eyed snake. According to the great doctor, it was said to be more of a monster than a spirit beast. A being worthy enough to be called a monster was following my words. What surprised me more was that it could understand the meaning of these words. If the guy you fought before could understand human tongue, then it would have signaled something too. Well, it was a time I was going through a rough few days, and with this chance I didn't regret what I did, rather I felt more fortunate now. "Please, tell the monster to move back," the man begged me. He was terrified with the two people being eaten right in front of me. And when I looked at the snake, it twitched its lips. Such a smart one. It looks creepy from the appearance, but it is actually like a dog. Right. Ha ha ha. As expected, sticking with you will not make me bored. At some point, this sword was regretting giving up on Baek Ryanha, and now he changed again. As the snake stepped back on its own, I asked the trembling guy. "Will you answer the question now?" "Why, yes. Ask me anything." So nice. Rather than force or threats, the snake made him succumb. "You were talking about the bundles of roots earlier, then is there someone here who is doing business with certain things?" I was listening to their conversation earlier. The man with a limping leg had asked them for wood. He hesitated with his reply. "Yes." Quite a funny situation. Even in places like this, there was barter happening. Humans are so special. Seeing that even in such a remote area they aren't joining forces but looking after themselves is strange. In a way this was sad too. The business with material. Is the one called Paeung the one doing it? The man nodded at my question. After I was done with the questioning, I was able to understand the situation of the valley. Those trapped within the place were divided into 2 categories. The first were those imprisoned by the dual martial forces, and the others were imprisoned by Wicked Moonsword. The one with more numbers belonged to the first category. It seemed like many men were captured and thrown by 2 sides, and they decided to divide the problems within. Even then there supposedly existed a problem for this power structure. It was said that within this valley were 3 groups. An existing one, Old Moon, who had been here for a long time. Was it led by the 8 of them? Right. And the second one was led by Paeung, which consisted of most people. Although Paeung's group was composed of people known to be dropped by Sima Chuk and had been in here for a year and 3 months, he was said to have taken control swiftly. Must have a good head. I had the same thoughts as Short Sword. It was said that the first thing the man did after arriving at the cave was to take control of the place the roots appeared. I heard that the only place where the roots descended was near the northern cavity. Water was easy to get with the flowing current, but the difficult thing was fire to light the roots. He figured out what everyone needs. Right. The guy with a smart head. Well, he and his men made sure of protecting the place, and they were a team of 23 members. About half the number. It was like dominance over the region. The last group were said to be neutral. They hunted on their own, procured food and gave it to Paeung's group in exchange for the roots. To survive the coming winter. Then it is out in the open that Paeung is the boss. TCH. Actually, he was more like the Lord here. Originally I heard that the old moon group was larger than this. At that time it was said that they were even during tense times. But the situation changed at once when one of the old moon member had tried to make an escape from here and suffered an incident in which a water opening burst open. In addition, one of them fell ill from an injury and this changed the tide. But it has nothing to do with you whatever they do to each other. Right. Because I was the one who would stay here for just 1 month. Human, you sure have luck. I wouldn't deny it. Actually, this might not even be what Simachuk wanted. Maybe he hoped that I would just survive from here fighting with my bare body. Then again, I guess the upper Dantian point was working and then I had a monster obeying me. And if I could get a comfortable bed, I could do anything right. A month is a piece of cake. The small pond where the fishes were close to hand, and water everywhere, the last thing I needed. The bundle of roots to be used to survive the darkness and cold. Look here. Why yes. Guide us to where your boss is. I understand. This was something which should be done. Ah. Come to think of this man was also caught by Simachuk. Like me, he had to be stuck with needles or blood points sealed. Paeung told me. You want the root of this tree? You know me well. There is only one reason for coming here. Then a trade? Nice. I want something too. The only condition is to get rid of the needles within the body and then I will do what you want. Take it out, but how would I do that? I am sorry, but that is not possible. What? What? If it was possible I would have removed the ones within my body a long time back. At my words he frowned. You were caught by Simachuk? I didn't deny it. In a way he was right and I told him. I feel bad for not being able to tell you. My condition is simple. I want the roots, enough to help me sustain for a month. At my words, he looked like this was absurd. Then what will you give me? I heard that fishes are worth more than tree roots here. Paeung frowned and replied. Are you sure you can handle that monster snake? Do you want to check it out for yourself? He looked at the one called Gapchan. It is true. I saw it clearly with my own eyes. Byendu was eaten by the monster snake. The man's words made Paeung touch his chin. He looked at me intently as if being worried. 10 fish in one batch. Too much. Look at our men. The men here are over 20 years old, do you think we can handle 1 or 2 fish? The whole only gets 8 or 9. The reason I denied the excessive number was because if the fish didn't always come, then I would run out of food. That isn't mine to care about. 10 fish for a bundle of 3 roots. Otherwise no deal. Paeung came out strong. Different from what I heard. What do you mean? I heard from the man that even if 5 mice were caught, you would exchange it for a bundle of roots. At my words, Paeung grinned. Values always change. The more difficult it is to obtain, the higher the price, but now we can get fishes more often. If the fish don't come then it will be hard to get. Then eat something else. You will not die from not eating fish. But trees are different. How will you endure the harsh coldness from the winter? He knew the advantage he had, so he was trying to hold the place. Paeung said with a smile, as if he had one. You understand things well, so get me the 10 fishes. Then I will give you the bundle of tree roots you desperately want. All these things seem to be set by you. At my words, Paeung spread his arms wide. In this place I am the king. If you want to have a comfortable life down here, you better follow my words too. Right. The one who occupies the root of the tree is the king. Ha ha ha. If you understand, come on. Then shall I check if the subordinates of yours have the courage to die according to the will of their king? What? Quack. Quack. Blood Demon sword went straight for the forehead of Paeung. The guy who had been pierced through the head made the cracking sound and fell to the ground with a thud. The guy sitting on top failed to see a sword arrive from 10 paces away. Just a throw was enough. What happened in an instant made everyone go dumb. Well, no one must have expected their leader to be killed at once. I held the torch in hand as I shouted, "Go on, burn it." Quack. The men with torches were all shocked, unable to decide on what to do. Looks like you don't want to die together. The men had no answer to my words. Would those who ate bugs and rats to live through the tough life here throw it away over a conflict of tree roots? Swish. I pulled out the sword from Payoung's forehead and smiled. Now that the king has died in my hand, am I the king? If you have a different opinion, step forward. The men all shut their mouths at the sight of me whisking the blood-soaked blade.